Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a kick-ass week. Today in this video, I'm going to go through the most popular or the most reoccurring questions I get on a weekly basis about stripping runs. Welcome everyone, I'm Jesse and this is Still at the channel, all about chasing the craft of home distillation and making it a legitimate hobby. Basically what that means is I make videos all about the craft of home distilling. I learn it myself and I share it with you guys. You guys help me, I help you. That's the plan. So if that sounds choice to you, hit the subscribe button down below and we'll do it together. Alright guys, here's the deal. My bird watchers, which is in that barrel over there with the blankets on top of it, is still slowly doing its thing. It's getting so close, so close. I almost just ran it tonight and I was sort of stressing out about it, deciding what I wanted to do. And I don't know if you guys have been hanging out on homebrewing forums as well, but if you have, you've probably seen this. That is the standard reply on homebrew forums when people stress out a little bit more than they really need to. It's a reminder to calm down, and basically what it means is relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to chill, I'm going to have a drink, have a chat with you guys about those most common questions that I see all the time about stripping runs. Cheers guys. Just in case you're wondering, this is the UJSSM I made a little while ago. It is the white version, the white dog, white lightning, whatever you want to call it. It hasn't been aged on anything, and it is from generation number 5. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the playlist in the cards up above, and that'll tell you all about UJSSM. I've been getting more and more messages lately, which is awesome. I love talking with you guys. It does mean that it takes more time to get back to you all, so I apologize that sometimes it's taking me longer and longer. But what I have noticed is there are a few questions that pop up over and over again for new distillers that are doing stripping runs or thinking about stripping runs for the first time. Today I want to run over all of those today and give you all of those answers in one place. So here we go, let's do it. Do I have to do a stripping run? The answer is no. No, you do not. It really is entirely up to you whether or not you want to do a stripping run, and it depends on the situations you're in. So I guess that kind of leads to another question that I see a lot, which is, what is a stripping run? I do have a couple of videos that are sort of more dedicated to that topic, so I'll put the cards up top for that. But the idea is that you're taking a full fermentation, the full ferment, so over there I've got about 150 litres of bird watchers. You're putting it into the still at whatever increments your still can take, and you're running that hard and fast through your still, essentially to cut the volume down and keep most of the alcohol you want. I'm going to be able to put that into my still in 3 goes. It'll be 3, probably about 45 litre stripping runs. I will take the low wines. Low wines is what comes out of a stripping run, and put all of those low wines together back into the still. I think that'll be probably about 40 odd litres, and then I can run that as a spirit run from there on. Do I need to dilute the low wines? If so, what should I dilute it with, and at what point should I dilute it? The idea here is that you don't want to be putting anything sort of above 40% ABV back into your still to run it again. So if your low wines are above that point, it probably is a good idea to dilute it back down, and the best way to do that is to just dilute it down with water. What ABV should I collect the low wines at during a spirit run? I've seen this a couple of times, guys, and I think if you're asking this question, maybe you're kind of missing the point of a stripping run. The point of a stripping run is not to be accurate. It is to do it quickly and efficiently and be able to move onto your spirit run, which is the accurate part. So essentially, run that stripping run as fast as you can. Which often gets the response, do I have to run it fast? No, you don't have to run it fast if you don't want to, but in my opinion, if you're not doing it basically as fast as you can, then yeah, there's not really a whole lot of point. Do the stripping runs nice and quick, and then spend that extra time on your spirit run. That's quite yum. Oh, by the way guys, before I move on, I had promised a while ago in one of the other videos that I was going to give away some of the wood that I prepared in this video. I'll put a card up above. I'm really sorry I haven't done that, guys. So today I'm gonna do it. I fired up the old random number generator, and these are the people that won. So if this is you, make sure you get in touch with me. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me on the back end of this channel, send me a message, or I guess get me in the comments as well, but ideally PM me somewhere. Anyway, number 1, Eric Kidd. Number 2, J&C Mining. And seeing as I've been slack as all hell, I figured I'd do a third one as well, which was Jonathan Hooton. So congratulations, guys. Yay, you win a piece of wood. Probably not so exciting. But get in touch with me anyway, team. Guess it's time for another one. This one is the wood-aged FFV. Once again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you do not know what Teddy Sad's fast fermenting vodka is, I'll stick a card up above and you can check that out as well. Thoroughly recommend that recipe. All right, back to it, and there have been a couple of UJSSM specific stripping run questions coming up over and over again as well. So here we go. How many generations of UJSSM should I strip and put together before doing a spirit run? This is another one of those things that is totally up to you. So what I did is I did generations 1 through 4. I did 4 25-liter washes. I stripped each of those, added them all back together and did a spirit run. And then I went big and made a bigger version of it in that big barrel over there and stripped that all back down together and did a spirit run of just generation 5. That is just the way I did it, and it is by no means the best way to do it. Uncle Jesse himself, the guy that made UJSSM, he does each individual generation as a spirit run straight off the bat, and he gets great results with that. So essentially, guys, it comes down to what sort of still are you using, and can you hit the ABV that you want to straight off the bat? If so, go right ahead and do it. I have not tried that on this still yet, and I'm not sure that it will do it. So for now, I've decided I am just going to roll with doing the stripping runs and then a spirit run. Also for the UJSSM, if you do want to keep back set to use for the next fermentation, do you take that from the stripping run or the spirit run if you are in fact doing a stripping run? This is pretty easy. You definitely want to take that from the stripping run and not the spirit run. If, of course, you're not doing a stripping run, then you take the back set from the spirit run. Does that make sense? So enough of the UJSSM for now. People are also asking, actually, hold on. I realize I've been standing there. I realize I've been sitting here holding this for God knows how long now, and I haven't actually had a sip. So anyway, people are also asking, how many stripping runs do I need to do before I make a spirit run? Once again, guys, this is totally up to you. There's no hard and fast rule here. Once again, the whole idea of a stripping run is not to be sort of accurate and precise. It's to just get through it nice and quick. So it really depends on the equipment you're using. Generally, you're going to be sort of somewhere between 3 and 5 stripping runs. If the idea is that you want to fill your boiler to start with for a stripping run and then fill it again for a spirit run. So obviously, once again, in my situation, if I put 50 liters into my boiler and I run a stripping run, I'm going to get much less than 50 liters out on the other end in low wines, and it's going to take me sort of 3 to 5 stripping runs to make that volume back up in low wines to 50-ish liters. Depending on the wash and depending on how fast I'm running the still when I do the stripping run. The other thing it will depend on is how long you collect for, sort of how far down into the tails you go, or your stripping run, which leads to the question I see heaps, which is how long should I collect for a stripping run? Or what ABV should I collect down to for a stripping run? Once again, guys, it's entirely up to you. There is no right or wrong. It's basically kind of an idea of diminishing returns. As you probably know if you're watching this, the longer you run the still, the lower the ABV gets over time, but you're still using the same amount of time and power. Lots of people will stop at around 20%, lots of people will go down to about 10%, and essentially it's whether or not it is worth your time and your money in the form of energy to go down that low. Obviously, once you start getting down below 10%, you're kind of collecting more water than anything else. And then you obviously get to a point where you defeat the point of a stripping run and you're adding water back into your product, basically. So for me personally, this is just personally, you don't have to do this. It's up to you. I always go to 20%, and then if I'm feeling good, if I feel like I have more time, I will carry on down towards 10% and basically just quit when I'm sick of it. This really is really interesting, the wood-aged vodka, basically. If you guys are looking for something to do and you want to do something a little bit different, it's totally tasty. I would thoroughly recommend this. Anyway, next question. Should you make cuts on the stripping run? Nope. Once again, guys, the whole point of it is to make things quicker, to do things faster. And when you think of the process of everything between the wash coming out of the fermenter and ending up in the final bottle, there's two things that take a whole lot of time. One is running the still, and the second is doing the blends and the cuts. So you want to minimize both of those things for a stripping run. Run your still hot, and second, don't bother with cuts because you're going to do the precise part next with the spirit run, and that's when cuts are worth it anyway. And the other reason, guys, is because you're running the still so fast, it really is not a precise process, so making cuts and then blending them just really isn't worth it. My low wines look murky or cloudy. Do I need to throw them out? Hell no. There's two main reasons that this may have happened. And the first, and probably in my experience, the whole lot more likely, is that you have had at least a small puke. And basically what that means is the liquid from the boiler boils up and over through your still. So you've got liquid in your low wines that hasn't been distilled. It's just pretty much been moved from A to be. So essentially what you're looking at is your low wines plus a scoop or two of your original wash added back in as well. Not a problem whatsoever. Throw that into your spirit run and it will be fine, I promise you. And last of all, if I'm using sodium carbonate, do I use that before or after the stripping run? And the answer for that one is after. You use it between the stripping run and the spirit run, but there will be more on that on the channel soon. Alright, so you said to run the still fast. How fast is too fast? Basically the idea, guys, as long as you've got relatively normal equipment, is that you can run the still as hard and fast as you can, up to the point where your condenser can no longer condense that vapor back down easily. So for me, on my still, I can run my elements at 4 kilowatts, no problem whatsoever, and my shotgun condenser will knock that down with no issues whatsoever. I tend to think that I could easily go to 6 kilowatts and still knock that down, no problem whatsoever. If you're interested in that shotgun build, I'll stick a card up top as well. Alright guys, cheers! Those were the most common questions I get around stripping runs. If you've got something to add, if you've got a question you're not sure about stripping runs, or you've got a question that you see popping up all the time that you have an answer to, stick some comments down below. That would be awesome to see what you guys think. Once again, like always guys, I have to say a huge thank you to my Patreons. Thank you very much for contributing to the channel. It really is very much appreciated. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you really liked it and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do so. And don't forget, relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. Cheers, guys. See ya.